Well, let's go ahead and get to the second video, which this is the one that just like irked the crap out of me. He has precedents of doing what he did. He does have precedents of stopping the transfer of power for 10 days, putting a committee together, things like that. But man, come on, Cruz. You had to dig deep for this one, dude.
So what I know is that what I stood on the Senate floor and objected, what I called for, I'll tell you, I wrestled with what to do in that circumstance. And the reason I wrestled with it is because I think there was significant voter fraud in 2020. And
you wanted the 10-day commission, I know, but was there voter fraud that would have changed the outcome of the election? But do you know why I wanted a 10-day
commission? Because I tried to look, I'm a Supreme Court litigator. I argue cases in front of the Supreme Court.
I know.
I tried to look through history and precedent, and the best precedent I could find was the election of 1876. 1876 was between Rutherford B. Hayes and Samuel Tilden. And what happened there were serious allegations of voter fraud, and Congress didn't throw its hands up and say, you know what? CNN demanded that I accept the results no matter what, so ignore the fraud. I got to go. But hold on. What did Congress do in 1876?
How did the president handle it?
What did Congress do in 1876?
Senator, I have to know, you can't answer yes or no to this question.
I'm asking a question. What did Congress do in 1876?
You can't answer yes or no to this question. And Republicans,
can you answer my question? Why are you refusing to answer my question?
I'm conducting the interview with all due respect, Senator. And let me ask you, it's Republicans have twisted themselves in knots. It's just a yes or no question. I'm not twisting myself.
I'm answering your question. You just don't like my answer.
And what's your answer? Is it yes or is it no?
So in 1876, what Congress did is it appointed an election commission. It consisted of 15 people. 5 House members, 5 senators, 5 Supreme Court justices. The Election Commission was charged with studying the evidence and making a determination of what voter fraud occurred, and that determined the winner. And what I called for in 2020 was to do the same thing, appoint an election commission, and 11 senators joined me.
Senator, with all due respect, after it had been thrown out of many courts, after the Attorney General Bill Barr, because there was no basis for those court cases.
No, so that's actually
Senator,
not.
With all due respect,
you asked me a question. Do you want me to answer it?
And you didn't answer the question.
Yes, I did.
Court cases were thrown out.
Hold on a second.
The Attorney General said there was no widespread fraud. You're not clearly answering the question. I want to thank you for that.
What question am I not? I'm answering every question. I think the country would have been a lot better off with a determination of what evidence of voter fraud that occurred, and instead the media didn't want to hear it and insists voter fraud never occurs. You ought to go back and look at the Carter-Baker Commission.
It was the Attorney General, and my question was about
it was the media. It was CNN that relentlessly pushed that propaganda. And by the way,
that there was no widespread fraud in the election?
That voter fraud doesn't exist, and anyone who says it does is wearing a tinfoil hat. That is propaganda. And by the way, you never asked Hillary Clinton this. You never asked Stacey Abrams this. You never asked Al Gore this.
With all due respect,
and every one of them said the Republicans who won were illegitimate.
I haven't had any of them on my show. We'll talk to them. But I don't remember there being a president who was refusing to turn over the transition of power and facilitated it.
And Trump didn't either. Joe
My
Biden
question was about
became
2024.
president.
You did not answer it.
Let me say a final point
Ted
for
Cruz,
you. You said they haven't come.
Thank you very much,
My
Senator Ted
opponent, Colin
Cruz.
Allred, hasn't either. He ought to come to your show.
Senator Ted Cruz, no answer to that question. Thank you very much.
So check this out real quick. That whole thing irritated the hell out of me.
Told you.
Anytime anybody, left, right, center, wherever they might sit, reaches back into what I call ancient history to say what we should be doing today, I'm already not hearing you, right? Because, well, what did they do in 1860, whatever? Have slaves? I mean, dude, Ted Cruz, at the time that you are citing, you couldn't vote. So you citing a law that is so outdated, it shouldn't even be in the conversation. You, sir, are out of line. So no. And if you feel like there needs to be new precedent, then let's run something. Because I'm like this, man. Congress is supposed to rewrite the laws and redo and update things over time. Do your job. Do your job. And that will take care of all of this. But y'all don't want to do your job. It's ridiculous. What did they do in 1779? I don't know. Die of dysentery? I don't know, man. What?
Okay. My God. and I use that term very loosely. First of all, I'll be amazed at how long it took you to go way back to, what was it, 1876. Then you want to have a gotcha question. Do you know what they did in 1876? No, because I wouldn't use that form of logic to try to study what happened to 1876 when Black people couldn't vote because they was already property, where women couldn't vote, where people who don't own land couldn't vote, where indigenous people couldn't vote. But yeah, let's go on back there to 1876 for you to tell us what happened or should be going on in 2024. Why would I listen to a bunch of people who didn't even have bathroom and damn near none had electricity? But let's go back there to get what's going on here.
Yeah, they act like the people from the past are some kind of geniuses.
Right.
They're no smarter than the people here.